Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mondays on Your Mind. Mark Scheffler running for Congress here in Northeast Wisconsin. I've been doing a lot of listening sessions out in rural parts of the district, and I'm really, really proud of that work. I think it's the most important thing that we can be doing to reaching out to constituencies that we don't oftentimes engage enough with. But that's not what this is about. Today, Monday on Your Mind is about progressives in Northeast Wisconsin being asked what's mostly on their mind right now. So this is a culmination of an effort. We sent out 2,800 texts in the last week asking people just simply respond with a big question. What's on your mind? And I promised that I would take the top 10 questions and put them into a live format. So I'm here live. This is totally unscripted. And I'm just going to go through the list of the top 10 answers. And there's also one nice honorable mention as well. So here we go. Question number one. Melissa asks, do you support term limits for Congress and the Supreme Court? The answer is absolutely, I do. I support term limits for both. For the House of Representatives, I'm committing myself, regardless of whether it's law or not, to serve only 3 terms in the House of Representatives and then to make way for the next generation of leaders to take my spot. I also support term limits for the Supreme Court. I think it should be longer, though. 10, 15, 20 years at the most would make a lot of sense there. But absolutely, I support term limits. And that's something that we can all agree on. Both sides of the aisle, conservatives and progressives, are all asking for there to be term limits to keep Congress accountable and to keep ideas fresh. All right, number 2, Matthew, who is a donor. Thank you so much for being a donor. What policies do you support that will reduce costs, specifically healthcare? Healthcare gets to be really expensive, mainly because we have not enough issue or not enough support for early prevention. So I call it primary care. It's this thing that is so important that we absolutely fund. And so I'm supporting something I call Citizen Care Core. It's a primary health care coverage, universal coverage for every American from birth through Medicare age, which is now 65. It covers the basics. It covers wellness checks, prenatal checks, postnatal checks, mental health screenings. It covers vaccination programs, cancer screenings, all of those basic things that we need to do to keep us healthy, to keep us engaged in practice with our physicians, and to make sure that we can all be covered by affordable health care. Great question. Mike asks, and this is a little bit longer question. Mike's a Republican libertarian. He's also a donor to the campaign. Thanks, Mike. He says, immigration is a big issue right now. What's the solution? What do you do with people already here? What do you do with the people trying to come here? The current strategy from Washington is frankly a human rights disaster. It's unrealistic, impractical, and inhumane to think we're going to deport every illegal alien. They need a path to citizenship. I think adults who were brought here as minors, were educated here, and have been here for many years need a fast-track option. This country was built on immigration. Why do people forget what they learned in kindergarten about the Pilgrims, Ellis Island, Statue of Liberty? We are a better country because of our diversity. I couldn't agree more. And it's an issue that I hear in rural Wisconsin a lot. But hey, when I visit farmers and I visit rural communities and I visit like the Wapaka Foundry last week, there are a lot of immigrants that we depend on for labor. The Cato Institute issued a devastating report 2 weeks ago. It's devastating to MAGA's position about immigration. And frankly, that position is just becoming indefensible. Over the past 30 years, immigrants have contributed more than $14 trillion of positive economic impact. Every single year from 1994 through 2023, immigrants have produced more in tax revenue than they've taken in social benefits. That's really important. And then this is kind of devastating as well. When you look at who takes most advantage of the legal system, so who's incarcerated the most, it's not immigrants. 75% lower incarceration rate and costs for incarceration for immigrants versus those who are already here. So it's really becoming indefensible. I support a step-by-step approach to make sure that we treat people humanely, that we do enforce the laws that are on the books right now, but that we also offer pathways to both temporary protected status, permanent residency, and then eventually citizenship. Citizenship should be the end of the process, not the start of the process. Michael asks, do you already have an AIPAC person, staff member assigned to you? The answer is no, never. AIPAC is a lobbyist for a foreign government, specifically for the state of Israel. The fact that the state of Israel doesn't matter. What matters most is that congressmen and women are supposed to take an oath of allegiance to the Constitution of the United States of America and to no other government. I will never have a handler from a foreign government. I will never accept a paid trip to a foreign country. And I will never accept donations from any PAC that's lobbying on behalf of Israel or any other country. My opponent, Tony Weed, definitely takes contributions from AIPAC. I will never, ever do that. That violates my oath of allegiance to the United States. Rose asks, how can we foster unity instead of division among our friends, neighbors, city, and state? United we stand, divided we fall. Couldn't agree more, Rose. That's why I'm getting out of Appleton and Green Bay and spending a lot of time in communities that, while we reached out to them, we really haven't been as effective as we need to be in reaching rural communities. I'm never out poking someone in the eye. I'm never out saying, hey, we told you so. I'm out there to listen. I'm out there to hear about the things that we all have in common. And boy, I'm finding a lot of common ground with conservatives and independents. There are those on both sides that really do hold fast to their position and are unwavering in compromise. I don't think this is how we move forward. I think we move forward through constructive dialogue. That's why I'm doing these Democrat and the Lion's Den town halls up and down the rural parts of the district. We'll be doing more and more of the urban parts of the district as we move forward, but it's so important to get out and actually talk with our neighbors. Mark asks, how do we reform government to bring more majority representative democracy? That's an easy answer, and the answer is we need to end partisan gerrymandering. Partisan gerrymandering is essentially cheating by both political parties. Democrats do it in some states, Republicans do it in other states. It's a way of artificially getting minorities to hold majority positions. The state of Wisconsin, we've seen that for the past 15 years. I have a plan to end partisan gerrymandering by neutralizing it through basic math. It's called the weighted voting system. I call it fair share democracy. It's a way that we do this. We need to end partisan gerrymandering so that the rights of Republican voters will never be trampled by the Democratic Party, and the rights of Democratic voters will never be trampled by the Republican Party. Cindy is a donor. Thanks, Cindy, for being a donor. She asks, my question is, what are you doing to get your name and campaign more coverage? I think you need to be seen and heard. Couldn't agree more. You know, I'm really leading in making sure that my message of common sense solutions for conservatives and independents and progressives is being heard up and down the district. My social media content has had more than 500,000 views already. That's far more than anyone else in this race. I'm doing public town halls, which nobody's doing. Not even Tony Weed's not doing public town halls. He just does the robo town halls. They're a whole lot easier to do. I don't believe in doing it easy. I believe in doing it right. Also getting a lot of media coverage, getting a lot of radio, TV coverage as well, but it takes dollars. And as we go along in the campaign, I'm making sure that we're in a position to get the message up and down the district throughout the primary and then into the general as well. John, he's the father of a trans woman. He says, what's your position on LGBTQ issues? Well, John, I'm a member of the LGBTQ community, proud member, and I take it this way. I take the cue from radical Republicans in the 1860s who passed the 14th Amendment, which guarantees equal protection to everyone under the law. It's not an issue of special treatment at all. It's simply an issue of fair treatment and equal treatment under the law. And so for trans communities, or trans individuals and gay individuals and members of racial minorities or religious minorities, the issue is just very, very simple. No one will be discriminated against in the United States government. We will ensure that everything is provided equally. If we offer one benefit or responsibility to one class of American, we offer it to everybody. No discrimination whatsoever. Thank you, radical Republicans of the 1860s, for doing that. Richard says, how do we get our current congressman to realize he's elected to represent the 8th District and our problems and needs? He's elected to represent us, not Donald Trump. Well, two things. First of all, we vote him out of office. Second thing, we hold our elected officials accountable for making sure that they are out in the district and representing us. Now, I'm not taking corporate PAC money. I'm not taking special interest money. I'm not taking money from ideological PACs that are aligned with any political party. And I'm only taking donations from individuals. The way that we get people to represent us is to make sure that there are no conflicts of interest. So no corporate money, no PAC money, no foreign lobbyist money, no money from other elected officials, and no money from the party machine. My campaign is funded entirely by individuals. I will be nobody's congressman but yours. And then number 10, Niall asks, how will you stop the tax breaks for USA top executives? I've been an enrolled agent with the IRS for over 50 years, so I understand tax rules. My tiny tax is beautiful because it treats everybody exactly the same under the law. No loopholes, no special interest carve-outs for corporations, no pet projects, no pork projects coming back through the tax code. The tiny tax treats everybody exactly the same. It ends the income tax. It replaces it with a national transactions tax. Everybody pays the same small, tiny rate, but those who use the economy more will pay more. So that's large corporations, it's billionaires, it's mega millionaires. It's time for us to turn the corner, to modernize our tax code, to make it fair, and to end loopholes that give Amazon a 6% tax rate when the rest of us are paying a 15 to 20% tax rate. So thanks, Niles. Great question. Okay, last one is an honorable mention. This is from Shelby. What can you do about Trump putting his image on the DOJ building or on the Kennedy Center? This isn't North Korea. Well, here's the issue. My tiny tax will buy a lot of erasers. So thank you very much for listening to Mondays on Your Mind. Look for a text coming up next week. And we'll definitely be here next week answering all of your questions again. Send them in. This has been really, really fun. Again, hard to pick just the top 10. So send in a whole bunch more next week. And until next time, Mark Scheffler wishing you a great week. Thanks.